Welcome to the Rhythm of Business podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Terry Daniels, and I'm excited to have as our guest today Kathleen Lappe. She is the CEO of DirectOffer, located out of the Nashville, Tennessee area, but she does so many wonderful things. So you all are going to get a treat just to hear from an individual that, hey, I'm fortunate to have on this podcast, but she is a breath of fresh air and just leadership and entrepreneur. So Kathleen, thank you so much. Please make sure I said your last name correctly. Lappe?
That is correct.
Okay. So Kathleen Lappe. And so just excited to have you. Just get us started and tell us just a little bit about who you are and your entrepreneurial leadership journey.
Well, I'm Kathleen Lappe. I'm actually originally from California. I moved to Kentucky, Bowling Green
Uh,
particularly, when I was in my late 20s, early 30s. And that's before we had these fun little
oh
devices.
yeah.
I started a homes magazine and an auction magazine. Before I knew it, I had 400 grocery store contracts. I had drivers. You walk into the store, you pick up those magazines.
Yeah.
I ended up selling that company for a nice little penny.
Yeah.
And I started a second company called Auction Look, which is the only MLS for auctioneers associations in the whole United States today.
Wow.
We've run $3.5 billion worth of assets across that site since 2015. It's still running today, and it does the industry a good service. But my real passion, not that that's not my passion, but my most current passion is a company that I started called DirectOffer.
Mm-hmm.
DirectOffer Incorporated is a software company. We specialize in AI software and patent technology for real estate and hotels and
Okay.
hospitality. So consumers' behavior online is
Mm-hmm.
different, and I felt that we were not serving consumers' behavior the way it needed to be met.
Okay.
Consumers are also, I wanted to make sure that we would serve up information on, let's say, real estate listings in audio, visual, and audio and the visual also being transcribed in a way for people with neurodiversity
Wow.
who are maybe dyslexic or autistic in a format that didn't seem like we were, shoving up
Yeah.
ADA compliant software.
Yeah.
Text messaging.
Mm-hmm.
Text messaging was created for the deaf,
Oh wow.
but we all use it.
Okay.
So our AI software applications specialize in multi-language and communication concierge service for consumers on real estate listings and hotels.
Wow.
And very proud to say that we have a lot of patents globally, fully patented in the US, patent pending in some countries, fully patented in some other countries, except for the EU. So it's,
Wow.
we're we're an AI company.
Yeah, but what intrigues me, Kathleen, as I listen to your story, and we've had a chance to share prior to this, but what intrigues me is where did this entrepreneurial passion and drive come from? What initiated all of this within you? Where'd that come from?
Well, thank you. That's a wonderful question. In order to build a successful company, it has to have purpose and passion.
Okay.
And I was actually supposed to be a high-powered paralegal to go to court for an attorney. I have a degree through the Tennessee bar.
Okay.
But my life took a pivot when my daughter was born, and we discovered that she was autistic at the age of
Okay.
2. So suddenly I really turned my life and focused in on her. And when I did that, I started my publishing company and I started these AI companies
Mhm.
in the real estate industry, which my mother was a big proponent of. I understood what agents needed because agents are often, they've got 2 jobs, they're raising kids, they're often females. There we have a lot of
Mhm.
males as
Yeah.
well. But I knew that I could stay at home and work and still take care of my daughter's needs. So hopefully she would have a chance to not only be successful in middle school, high school, and hopefully go to college.
Yeah.
So I started building technology that helps young adults like my daughter
Mhm.
understand, what is out there,
Yeah.
And my daughter she woke up one day. She actually just graduated from college.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she was written up in the paper from Union University, fantastic college for young adults with autism to learn how to get job skills. Well, she graduated with a degree. She was written up in the newspapers, and she was so excited. She's like, I want to go get a job, save money, get a house. And she started to look on the portals. And then she went from excited to just upset.
Oh
And
wow.
I said, what's going on? And she goes, I don't understand any of this. And that's when I knew we had a problem to solve. You know, it's if you go to any website or any application out there, having tools that make it easy for my daughter who's autistic to understand real estate or book a hotel room or you know, if she did golf, she's a horrible golfer, but book a tea time. You know, it's very challenging. So I wanted software that was made her life less challenging, but also made those with that are more able life these things less challenging.
Yeah.
And AI technology has the ability to do it. So I started filing patents in 2019,
Wow.
not even realizing the power of what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And call it a stroke of luck. But
Yeah.
I think all stroke of lucks come from passion
Yeah.
and purpose.
Yeah. That.
And so we've grown our AI technology company, DirectOffer Incorporated, from that passion and that purpose to serve a community. Can you imagine
Yeah.
if English is not your first language, how difficult it is to look at real estate listings, understand it, how difficult it is to book that family trip, to get that hotel time, to get that reservation? You know, it's a challenge.
Absolutely.
So
Wow.
we addressed the problem and we found the solution.
Yeah.
And now we're gaining traction. And traction happens slow,
Yeah. Yeah.
any technology, no matter how fantastic you are.
Yeah.
In fact, the gentleman who created text messaging almost went out of business like 3 times until it was eventually acquired by a large company. And look where we are today.
Yeah. That's a new insight to me that text messages was created for the hearing impaired. And but as I listen to you, Kathleen, what I'm hearing and seeing is that, and you said it best, is that it's coming from a passion and a purpose. And entrepreneurs really start out with something that is heartfelt. And the way you described it really makes so much sense. And talking about your daughter, and that makes it so real. And
Mhm.
I think that's impressive. And I think for all of us as entrepreneurs and out there, we need to tap into what's going on the inside,
Yes.
because that will carry you through some of those difficult days that you have to endure and go through. My question, that as you were saying that, I'm getting off script here, but you're just making me think about so many things. So as an entrepreneur and thinking about your daughter and
Mhm.
thinking about your team and how you're building, how do you find balance to do all of that at the same time? Because you've done some impressive stuff and still doing impressive stuff. How do you find that balance as an entrepreneur and as a leader and as a parent? And how do you find that rhythm?
Are you talking about sort of like the work-life
Yeah, yeah,
balance?
yeah. That work
Uh,
life balance.
you know, it's not easy. It isn't. I heavily depend on my schedule, but I make sure, like on my schedule at 4 o'clock onward, I have it in there, heads down.
Ooh.
And that tells me, because, you know, if people typically work 9 to 5. So from the last hour of my day to sort of wrap up my work and then really focus on my personal time.
Hmm.
You know, and yes, we have to travel a lot for work, but to check in on my personal life, to
Yeah.
make sure that I often find when I am not attentive to my personal life, my business life has a more difficult feel to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they do go very much hand in hand. You
Yeah.
know, do right by your personal life, and your business life will do right by you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Think about what you said though. You have it on your calendar,
yeah.
heads down. Oh my. That I've not ever heard. I'm just gonna tell you now, I've done this for a lot. I mean, I've been in leadership for 30 plus years, and heads down automatically on your calendar. that is intentional and that is purposeful.
It is, because you've got to yell at yourself to stop.
Absolutely.
We're passionate about what we do, and it's often like, hold on, I'm almost done. Hold on. No, oh, I
To
can't do
still,
it
to
today.
still.
I've got this. And you've got to have your calendar yell back at you. No, heads down.
Heads down. Wow. Now I've got to go see if I can put that in my calendar because I need to yell at my own self, and I'm a coach, so I yell at myself. So let me ask you this: as you think about entrepreneurs out there who are or individuals who desire to be entrepreneurs and leaders of organizations, what are the misconceptions about being an entrepreneur that they may need to think about?
That it's easy.
Oh,
Uh, that's a huge misconception. I'm going to be working on my own. I've got a great idea. This is going to be easy. Um, it's not easy. Just because you have a great idea doesn't mean the world thinks it's a great idea.
yeah,
And or the timing might not be right. You have to do a lot of you have to understand what you signed up for. You know, if it's something more localized, it can be a little easier to scale. You got to know who your competitors are. You have to know exactly what you're up against. If you're want to go into a market with something and somebody else is doing a good job at it, don't do it.
yeah. Wow.
Because they already have the trust of the community, the relationships of the community. And even though you might have a slightly superior product, they're going to get there faster than you because they're going to see what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and if you want to build globally, like I did, you better make sure that you have some sort of intellectual property lockdown. You have to make sure that you're building something that the global market wants, and you have to make sure that you have the stamina to stick with it
yeah,
the whole way through.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's very difficult. And finances. Make sure you have, don't use your friend to handle your bookkeeping, use a third party.
Absolutely.
And make sure you understand revenue in and how is that going to cover your burn rate.
Yeah,
And if you can't cover your burn, if you're a company that is building with assets, and those assets are to be sold, what does your burn rate need to be in order to get the assets to a point where they can be acquired properly?
yeah.
So,
So as I'm listening to you, I mean, I talked to you before this, but wow, I'm just wow. As I'm listening to you, I am just wowed at your demeanor and the way you and I know that didn't just come easy to you. You had to go through a lot of challenges, I'm sure, and to go globally as well.
yeah,
That's taken a lot to do that, and but so impressive.
thank you.
This though, how do you take this drive and passion you have?
Hmm.
I know you've had to build a team and build others on your team. How do you instill that in others? How do you uh, replicate Kathleen and get more Kathleens out there?
Well, for my personal team,
Yeah.
it's been, nobody, I'm not the boss of it. We're all equal as far as I'm concerned. And we have a saying, nobody in our company has toes.
Yes.
So, we are all there for the same mission. If you have a company that has a mission, the best employees will come to you.
Mm-hmm.
And they take it as their own, and they will move your company forward. The worst employees are the ones who just want to drive a paycheck,
Yeah.
and they're not emotionally connected to the company. And I've been blessed that everyone that works with me, employees and independent contractors, are all passionately connected. And it does come down to a passion. If the founder is started a company thinking, oh, well, it's just going to make some money, and there's no passion behind it,
Yeah.
it's just numbers, they're not going to have people working with them that are passionate about the company. They're just pencil pushing numbers. And yeah, hey, maybe they'll make a lot of money, maybe they won't, but I find that companies that are more successful have a passion and a purpose behind it.
Yeah.
And then when you have a team of multiples of you that are
Yeah.
passionate, I've watched my colleagues out there in my company, and I've watched them talk to potential clients and how passionate they are about what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's an aha moment.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's as I'm listening to you again, I think you speak what you're believing and you believe what you're speaking.
Mm. Yeah.
And the more you can, have people around you that speak
Mhm.
what they believe and believe what they speak, that's the magic of seeing that passion replicated over and over again. That's the success of the organization right there. That's the rhythm, is that you're not having to push someone. They're pulling from you because
Yeah.
they want the same things that the organization is seeking to achieve.
They want the same things and they also want to be heard. You're hiring smart people. And I always tell people that I'm the person in the company with the matches and they put the fire out. They're all really smart. Listen to them. Just
Yeah,
because I have an idea doesn't mean I'm right.
yeah.
It's my idea. I like everyone bringing their idea to the table and collectively we come up with something. So if as we're wiggling, we wiggled a lot. And
Hmm.
we pivoted quite a bit, but you have to, if you're a company that's unwilling to pivot, it's very difficult to scale.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you're pivoting this way, you see how the market reacts, and you're going to have to pivot this way. And then your team notices it. And if you refuse to pivot based off of the market and the way it reacts to your team's going to feel it.
Yes.
They're like, we're not getting anywhere. Why won't you pivot? You can't just sit there and go, nope, my idea, this is all we're going to do. We're not pivoting. That doesn't.
Yeah.
So, in the end of the day, what you come out with might not be where you started, but what you come out with is something that, still has your passion and your purpose, but it fits the market and it fits what the demand of the consumer wants, which helps you to scale your products.
And as you say that, I'm thinking about how people say all the time that the leader, people are a result of the leader, right? And
Mm.
I believe I'll use my language here. I think we do set the rhythm often, but
Mhm.
you know how to find the rhythm of other people who are bringing new things. So the organization's rhythm is really where you're trying to go. And so the rhythm of business uh, may shift from you as the leader, all because you've created the space
Mhm.
for something new to be brought forward. And then everybody starts getting back in rhythm with that new thought. And so
Yeah.
I love that just your you can just see. If I walked in your organization, I'm like, okay, I don't know who the boss is, but I know that everybody is of one mind trying to achieve it. I guarantee you I could see that if I walked in your organization.
Oh, you definitely can see that.
Yeah.
And one thing I like to point out for entrepreneurs is it's good to fail as you're achieving.
Oh, wow.
Um, so you're going to try this thing
Mhm.
and you fail at it, and everyone's like, oh, and you pivot. Had you never tried that and you pivoted, you'd be wondering, should I have tried that?
Yeah.
So you have to figure out everything you need to try to figure out where the right course is. And you have to understand that you are going to fail along the way. Just try not to lose too much money along the way as you fail. But you have to, because when you're here, if you didn't try ABC, you're always going to go, oh, maybe we could have been so much better had we tried ABC.
Yeah.
So you
Wow.
have to
That
fail to succeed.
And I think to that point, a lot of people don't think about what you just said, is that failure is part of getting there. You just
Hmm.
kind of manage how much you fail and what to do and how you pivot, how you get back up. That's
Yes.
just the rhythm of any entrepreneur. So I think you're spot on with that insight there. As you think about direct offer, where you are, you've grown other organizations. You had the privilege of selling those and still
Mm.
work with the ones that you started before. But as you think about direct offer,
Yes.
where do you go from here, and what are the growth challenges to taking it further and higher?
Well, you grow a company to a certain extent. We're personally looking for additional capital partners, larger entities to come
Okay.
in as those capital partners, because I'm smart enough to know that I am not Google, I'm not Amazon, I'm not Zillow, uh, and these type of capital partners coming in who could utilize the technology because we already have proof of concept and traction, and we know that it looks really good to them, helps you get your company to the next level. Now, that sounds great, but it's very difficult often for founders to do that
Mhm.
because it's their baby they built. And it is like ripping off an extremely painful Band-Aid. You're basically handing your baby over to this new capital partner in which you're still helping them grow it to
Mhm.
its greatness, in which you probably, honestly, unless you've got daddy's money, $1 billion,
Yeah.
that's just the next natural step for companies like ours, is to bring in those additional capital partners.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say again, if I had the money, I'm joining in with Kathleen. I can tell you that.
Thank you.
What I'm hearing and seeing, Kathleen, just listen to you, the previous conversations, your success in things that you've done, you're willing to battle and stay in the battle is
Mhm.
right there. And what you've built is right in front of you. And so I believe in you, just listen to you. So anybody that's listening, I'm telling you, Kathleen is a winner. I'm telling you, Kathleen's a winner. And
Thank you.
so I don't know who she's talking to. This is about the entrepreneurs, but I would say my assessment, just listening to you, knowing leadership, knowing organizations, knowing strategic plans, Kathleen's a winner. And so I believe your growth will come because you know what you want to achieve. So awesome
Thank
to
you.
do.
Thank you. I really appreciate that compliment. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Final question, as you think about maybe Kathleen back with the home magazine or their first business. As you
Yes.
think about the Kathleen that's sitting back there, uh, moving from California to Kentucky, can't figure that piece out there anyway, but moved from California to Kentucky, what do you say to that person that's sitting there contemplating taking the leap into this journey of being an entrepreneur or even being a leader in an organization or stretching themselves? What do you say to that person as they're sitting there with that napkin and pencil in their hand on what to do next? What do you say to Kathleen back before she started the home magazine?
Time takes care of everything.
Ooh,
Slow is actually faster. If you
wow.
take your time, you will get to your end goal faster than trying to go right to the end goal, because that's where you're going to make all your mistakes if you go too fast.
Mm.
So slow is fast, and time will take care of everything.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, just wisdom. Kathleen, just wisdom.
Oh,
You didn't take long to say just wisdom. Slow is fast.
slow is fast.
Slow is fast.
Yes.
Kathleen, I'm just going to tell you, this has been such a treat just to talk to you. We talked before, but talking here and
Thank you.
hearing more of your story and your journey has just been a treat. And to the audience, I'm telling you, if you just need to pick a brain, follow her, look up her on LinkedIn. You can find her in a lot of places. Kathleen Lappe, CEO of the DirectOffer out of the Nashville, Tennessee area. She's making things happen, you all. I'm just telling you, she's making things and is going to make a lot of things happen. I would put my money on you. I'm not a bet man. I'll put my money on Kathleen all day long. I'm telling you, I would. Any final thoughts?
Thank you so much for having me on this. And, entrepreneurship is what built this beautiful country of ours. And the opportunities are there if you take your time to find them. And I think that there's going to be some amazing companies coming out.
Absolutely.
Do not be afraid of competition.
Yeah.
There's plenty of business out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kathleen, thank you so much once again. To the audience, Dr. Terry Daniels, your host for Rhythm of Business podcast. We've had as our guest today, Kathleen Lappe. She's CEO of DirectOffer out of the Nashville, Tennessee area. We encourage you to look her up on LinkedIn, follow her. You will find everything that I'm saying about her to be so true. So, Kathleen, thank you so much. We hope you come back to another episode of the Rhythm of Business. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much.